Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch 2 has officially been out for 2 months now, and I gotta say, I am enjoying the console. But on the other side, I think there's a lot of missed opportunities, and I think the Nintendo Switch 2 generation, not the console, but the actual generation, has a lot of problems, and we need to talk about those. Let's go and get right into this video. Don't get me wrong, I think the Nintendo Switch 2 is amazing. I have not touched my PlayStation 5 since the consoles came out, and we're seeing, the power and performance of a console and having amazing ports like Cyberpunk. It's like sacrifice, a tiny bit of graphics or something and get to play these games portably. I'm good to go. But when I beat those 3 or 4 games, what am I supposed to play? Oh, there's nothing to play just yet. Just wait, it's coming soon. I don't think that's the case, man. And then on top of that, we have the game keycard situation. Very strange. So I want to talk about a few of the major Nintendo Switch 2 problems right now. And remember, this isn't for the console itself, it's the generation. But there are some huge missed opportunities, and I don't think this generation is being properly handled. And I feel like Nintendo might even feel that way as well. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And let's go ahead and get right into this video. So the first issue we got to talk about is the game keycards. I have been on record saying probably like 2 or 3 times, I should care more, but I just feel so grateful that I'm able to play these games at all. You know what I mean? Now, the issue is a lot of these games are on other consoles and cheaper on those consoles, and you're getting the physical game, the entire game on those other consoles. So what is the reason to buy these games on the Nintendo Switch 2? Because I'm paying full price, I'm not getting the entire game, and sometimes when a game comes to a console, let's say a year later, like another console, you'll get the Ultimate Edition or the whatever the hell they call it edition, and that will have some DLC included or some extra added benefits. We're not seeing that on the Nintendo Switch 2 at all. Cyberpunk 2077 plus the DLC Phantom Liberty, that is like the exception right now, and we see how that game is selling. I don't know off the top of my head, but I would guess like 3rd or 4th best selling Nintendo Switch 2 game period, like currently, and for great reason. Now, I thought this game key card situation was getting a little blown out of proportion online, and welcome to the internet, right? Bad things generate more clicks and generate more money. But I thought, I see what's going on here, and I wish there was more physical games, but it's not that big of a deal. And I'll be honest, I didn't understand one thing as well, so I think that jaded my perception. I thought on the PlayStation 5, like say you buy a big game and you put it in your PS5, it has to download as well. So I thought that was the same thing as a game keycard, so I didn't understand the big concern or the big pushback. But somebody corrected me and they said no. The game is on the disc. You're just copying the game from the disc to the PS5. It's not like a game cartridge where there's nothing on the cartridge. You just put the cartridge in and it downloads the game from the internet. So maybe that's why I didn't care as much or thought it wasn't that big of a deal. But now that I know that's not true, I'm like, damn, that sucks. But again, I thought things were being blown out of proportion a little bit. That was until that partner showcase. There were a few games in there that I am very excited for. Don't get me wrong. I don't think the presentation was that great, but there were a few games in there where I was like, okay, some of this should have been launch games or stuff that we should have got maybe a month ago, or I don't understand the delay on some of these games, and that's something we'll talk about later in this video. But once I seen this graph, and if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen right now, it showed every game announced at that partner showcase, and I could be wrong, but I think it was like all but 1 or 2 games are game key cards. Then it started to put it into perspective a little bit more. Then I don't have an argument, for the other side. I don't have something where I can be like, well, I see what you're saying, but we also have this. There's no excuses, man, especially because these games are on other consoles already. Let's use Persona 3 Reload as an example. That is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, just the base game, for $60, and it is a game keycard. Right now, I can walk into Walmart and find the game, which is actually on the disc, for $20 for a new copy. Why would I spend an extra $40 on the Nintendo Switch 2 version when I get zero benefits of doing it. Me, the selling point is portability. I have always been a handheld gamer. I prefer playing games handheld, but even myself, I cannot justify spending $40 extra for no reason, right? I could spend $20 on the PS5 version and then get another game for like $20 and then another game, or I can get a $60 copy of a game that's not even really the game. I might as well just download it from the internet. Now, a great thing about game key cards, opposed to buying digitally, is you can resell the game key cards. And I think that's great. I'm not the biggest game collector. That's what I like to do. I like to buy stuff physically, beat it. If I don't have an attachment to the game, I will sell it towards my next game. So that's where game key cards take over digital for me. But this is only one major issue of the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, to be transparent, there are rumors and leaks going around saying that the company that manufactures Switch 2 cartridges, in their quarterly earnings, that they are making new cartridge sizes, and we're seeing Nintendo do these surveys. So I think maybe in the future, by the end of the year, hopefully, or in the next couple months or sometime, that we will start seeing more physical games. I think we're being vocal enough, so I do think something eventually positive will come out of this. But the Nintendo Switch 2 has another major issue. Where are the games? Don't get me wrong, I know there are games for the Switch 2. I'm being facetious a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not. I'm just pulling this number off the top of my head. It could be more, it could be less. Let's say there was 15 games in that presentation, right? I know that's probably not correct. Let's just say 15 games. I think out of all of those games, one launched the day of the presentation, which might have been that stupid ass Campfire game, and then another game is coming out on like the 14th. That's it. Like, we have to wait till September, October, November for these games. So what is going on here? Well, the answer is very simple. Nintendo, I don't want to use the word stingy because I don't know why it's happening. Forget it, I'll use the word. Nintendo is being stingy with dev kits. I do not understand this. Leading up to the reveal and release of the console, I get it, dude. The Switch 2 has to be the console that has leaked the most in history. And I cover those leaks all the time on my channel. I'm part of the problem. It is what it is. But after the console is out, why do these companies not have dev kits? And what's happening is games that should be developed for the Nintendo Switch 2 are not being developed for the Switch 2. So the company has to put these games on the Nintendo Switch. And two things are happening. One, we're getting subpar quality on the Switch version, right? This game should be on the Switch 2, but it's getting a Switch version. Yes, it's playable, but it doesn't look great. And then two, well, you can put that game in your Switch 2, and with VRR it might look better, but it's like weird and wonky and not right. So it's like, what's the point of playing this game on my Switch or my Switch 2? And I know I might not be the best at explaining this, so let me insert this clip quickly of Digital Foundry explaining all this.
And Oliver, that last point you said about the dev kit situation, that is seriously actually starting to cause problems, right? Like, we just had Ninja Gaiden Ragebound released, right? Yeah. Shinobi Art of Vengeance has a demo. I played the demo on there. The image quality sucks. It looks bad on the Switch 2. It's not sharp at all. That art is amazing. I loaded it up on the PS5 and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So it's that game right there is being hamstrung by the fact that there's no native Switch 2 version. And I'm sure Nintendo told them if they tried, oh, well, it's fine. Just, you got a Switch 1 version. And the Switch 1 version is 60 FPS. Mm-hmm. But the image quality sucks. It's not crisp at all. It's not good. This type of situation happening right now is not good. And I feel like this is a product of Nintendo being very, very limited with their development kits and this whole, just continue making it for Switch 1. It's not a good idea, and it's hurting these games, and they need to change this.
We're getting presentations, we're getting directs, we're getting information, but we're not getting games. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is the fastest selling console in history. Nintendo will never have this opportunity again, ever. Nintendo has the fastest selling console in history, but no games to go along with it. And if you're getting some of those games, well, you're getting game key cards. What's going on here, man? Very strange generation. Not a great start. I love Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think it's one of the best things Nintendo's ever released. Cyberpunk is probably tied for my favorite game of all time. But what else do we really have that we haven't already played on other consoles or can play on other consoles or you know, games that should come over to the Nintendo Switch 2 that would be very exciting, well, companies don't have dev kits yet. But ladies and gentlemen, these are just my thoughts. And you gotta remember, I love Nintendo. It's my favorite gaming company in history. It is what my channel is based around. You know, this is like part of my damn identity as a human being. But we gotta call a spade here. It's not the best start to a generation. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are thinking. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe, dude. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our communities growing. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.